Well, good morning, travelers. Actually, I think it's afternoon. Today is December 14th, I believe. Yep, today's December 14th. This is a very interesting time of year for me, and the one thing that is very interesting is this is the time where I have my nomad anniversary and my birthday. And in times past, we've had meetups, and we've celebrated both events and had a really good time doing it. Last year before, I just opened it up to people that wanted to come visit, and I had visitors pop in, and they really had a good time and enjoyed themselves. This year I have not opened it up to anything. This year I'm hopping around, visiting different groups and different activities and different events. And I am currently at an event for our good friend Kenneth, who a lot of you have camped with or hung out with. He was a great guy. He passed away this year, and we're having a memorial week for him. So Kenneth, we're going to miss you. You're a great guy. You did a lot of good camps. You did a lot for the community, and we enjoyed your company. So rest in peace, my friend. Today is your day, and in a couple days, it'll be my anniversary on the 17th. Like I said, this year we're not having a meetup. I will be around Quartzsite. I will be in and out of different places, different camp areas. If you see my van or see me or want to come find me, y'all know what my van looks like. It is not white. It's very easy to find, and a lot of you have seen me uptown so far this season, and we've got to reconnect and had some decent, good times. Today I want to just show you upgrades that I've done to the van. I will have been in the van since 2017, I believe. I think it was 2017 when I got my van, because I got my motorhome in 2015 and hit the road. And next year, for 2015, 2025, we'll have been on the road for 10 years. This year's year 9. We're going into year 10. Year 9 ends on the 17th. We'll have been in the van and traveling for 9 years. Wow. Is that like crazy that it's been 9 years so far? You, Mr. Boy. I have a little growler on my lap. Say hi to the peeps. Say hi, peeps. See, I'm camping with a bunch of people with a bunch of dogs, and I like to bark every minute of every day. I don't like you barking. No, I don't. Oh, I don't. No, I don't. But you want to look out the door, and you want to bark, okay? Anyway, it's been crazy. Met a lot of people during these 9 years. Have done a lot of different things. Have traveled to different places, and have sat for quite a while. A lot of changes in my life during this 9 years. I started out with a full-fledged camper, and I'm probably going to enter a picture somewhere in here so you see where I started. Camper, I was pulling a 12-foot trailer with all of the things that I had in my garage, and my kayak and my recumbent trike. And then a few years later, especially after I got the van, I downsized to a little smaller trailer to put on the back of the van. I haven't even done a van build video myself yet, and that will come later. I'm still in process of giving it a little facelift here and there inside. Some outside stuff, some inside stuff, and some of you have seen it and some of you haven't. You'll see snippets of it in many different videos on my playlist of the different things that I've built on the van or taken away from the van. As of today, I am not traveling with a trailer at all. I have not had one on the back of the van for about a year, I think. And I really like being able to just pull in, set up, and park. And I've been working diligently to get my pull in and take off in less than 5 minutes, which is becoming much more desirable for me. You don't have to haul so much stuff with you, and I don't like to set everything out in my camp area like I've done in the past to set up home. Basically, my van is my home, but I'm getting ready to hopefully do some travel. I haven't traveled for a couple years. I've basically been just sitting around because, as most of you know, I really have a problem with people traveling without an emergency fund. These things break down. I don't care how new your rig is. I don't care what it is. It will break at some point, and you've got to have the money to fix it. Some of you remember last year or was it last year? I think it was last year, maybe the year before, when I went up to Idaho and to take care of my daughter again because she had pneumonia. And I broke down a couple times. I had to have a new alternator put in, which took several days because they had to find something that would fit my vehicle. I ended up with a Ford alternator. I am in a Dodge van, and now I have a Ford alternator. I had a special alternator that's geared for buses because these buses idle a long time, and it needed that big generator for that. Now I've got a Ford one that's working just fine. Later on in that same trip, I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and had a breakdown because the new alternator was rubbing on a radiator hose, which I did not know it was the hose. I thought it was a water pump, and it went out, and I hired some mobile mechanics to come and fix my water pump, and they were going to charge quite a bit of money. I did not have the money to have that thing fixed, so I had to do a kind of a loan through a loan shark. I forget the company's name, but they wanted quite a bit of money to do a water pump. The mechanics did anyway, so we did a kind of a personal loan on the spot. Found out it was a radiator hose, and they were not happy because there went all their money that they were going to get from the water pump. So incidentally, for a radiator hose, and hold on to your seats, I already did a video on this, I paid $850 to have a radiator hose installed, which is 2 hose clamps, literally, and you're done. And had to pay for the time they went to find it, had to pay for the guys that had to sit around until they got the part to us, and it was on a weekend. There was no one to fix my van, so I ended up paying quite a bit, and I had to pay that over a time period, and there was interest and all kinds of things on it. Hence, don't travel without an emergency fund, period. Have something. And in today's day and age, to get anything fixed, it's going to cost you about $1,000 for each repair. So for safety's sake, I would suggest you have 3 repairs saved up. That would be a minimum of $3,000. You probably need to have more. So if you don't have that, what you do is you bounce from cooler temps in the summer down to warmer temps in the winter, and you sit and you save money so you can buy the things you need to repair your rig as best as you can, or fix up or uplift or facelift, and get back on the road so that you can bounce back to your place in the summer or the winter. And if you're going to do a longer trip, you got to save more money. That's all there is to it. Heading to Idaho, I had to put 4 new tires on the van, the new alternator, and the very expensive radiator hose. Thank God there was nothing else wrong with the van. This van is a 1997. It's old. It has 185,000 miles on it, which is not a whole lot. It's pretty decent miles for something. However, it is getting older, and things tend to break on older vehicles quicker than the newer ones. The newer ones cost a whole lot more. So anyway, that gives me a little pause of going traveling, and I also wanted to build on my property to make it livable, and I've done as best as I can with that, and I've had some changes there too. I've decided to not do a quote homestead. It's basically a home base with parking spots for friends to come and park, or just me to park. But I'm not putting fencing around my property. It's too expensive. I'd love to get a moat like the other guys got, but that would require renting a backhoe to come and do that, and I may do that in the future. I don't know. I'm not going to do animals because animals take a lot of water, and as I've been out on my property since 2020, I have learned how much water you would need to do a little tiny garden, which is quite a bit, and I have not succeeded in gardening because of the type of area we have, the type of plants we need. I know my friend down the road does a huge garden, but they have 2,000 to 3,000 gallon tanks to take care of those plants and have a little bit of a rainwater catchment set up. I do not have either one of those. I have plenty of water to last the season for me drinking and for Quark doing his thing and just having water there and showers and that sort of thing. And right now that works for me. I will be adding more at a later date, but this video is not about the property. I'll make another one of those later. This video is about what I've done to the van, and I'm adding in a whole clip that I did the other day of different things that I did on the van. Little changes here and changes there, and I'm hoping to do a couple more changes. I would like a new chair where I'm sitting right now. If anybody out there today that's watching knows of or comes across an RV recliner, preferably a rocker recliner, please let me know so that I could possibly purchase it. I don't want to spend $400 or $500 for a recliner. That's just too much, I think. A used one's fine. Just a small, it's got to be under 21 inches wide. I think it's 21. I'm not positive, but let me grab the handy dandy tape measure and see how wide this one is. This one's right at 21 inches where I'm at right now. So I don't want anything bigger than 22 width-wise, and it's got to be high enough for me to get out of it and get in it. This one's pushing it, but it works, and I think the height of the base of the chair is 16 inches. For the seat, from the seat to the floor, is 16 inches. So anything shorter than that, it's too hard for me to get in and out. So I gotta put in a new one of those. I've got to replace my fantastic fan motor. That has to be replaced. And I think at that point we're pretty much done with upgrades. I bought a new air fryer, and I showed that in the video, I think, that I'm going to post here in a second. However, it's 1,550 watts. It's huge watts. I am looking at downsizing the air fryer. I really like it, but I want to downsize to 1,000 watts because I haven't found one under 1,000 watts. So right at 1,000 watts would be okay. Then I can run it on my inverter and not have to run it on the generator. I'm finding that cooking twice a day, running it on the generator, then I'm having to run it about 30 minutes, which isn't a lot of time, but it's just the gas to put into the generator. I don't want to be buying gas when I get free electricity from the sun. And I know in this little clip that I put out that I just added to the van 450 watts of solar panels, so I now have full batteries every day, which is something I've never had before, and I don't have to watch my intake or expenditure of solar power as much as I did before. Now, since I've been at this event and the last event, which the last event was Jimmy Allen's Boondocking Bash, Memorial Bash. This was the second annual one for him, and I'm not sure if they're going to do more Memorial Bashes for Kenneth. I'm not sure. I can't say one way or another. However, since going to that bash, which was like almost 2 weeks, and now we're into this one, I haven't had to run the generator to charge my batteries at all. They've been full every day, 14 plus every single day. So that makes me happy. Things are working out. Oh, and another thing I got to purchase is a stove. My stove was catching on fire, so it's going to have to go away, and I'm going to buy another one and put in its place. And then I think pretty much, unless I want to change curtains and colors and upgrade those, then I have pretty much everything that I want in the van. I do want to put a shower curtain in the van, but I have to get home to sew that together. I want to add Velcro so I can just stick it together and use it for a shower curtain. And I only want 4 points of connection. I don't want to have to put 12 shower hooks in this thing. That's too much of me reaching over my head. My arms do not work that way. My shoulders are both shot from doing shoveling snow, cutting wood, things like that in my lifelong things. So apart from changing the van and changing different things in the van, in the last 9 years that I've been on the road, I've changed quite a bit. If you watch my channel, you know I'm transsexual. That's the new term I'm using, because the term transgender has just been run through the mud and squashed on, and we've got people that are what are they called? I don't know. Anyway, they're wannabes. They're not even transgender. They don't have gender dysphoria. They just want to change their quote gender every day, and that's not what transsexualism is. What it is a physical defect that you get prior to birth. It has something to do with your hormones and how your brain and your body correspond with each other. And those that have gender dysphoria, their brain and their body are not in an alignment at all. And it took me years to realize that. I was a teenager, but it took me years before I transitioned. So a lot of you have seen my earlier videos, and I am much different now. I'm much better now. I'm not going to say that I'm now happy, because I'm me. I'm an old fart. I will be 68 this year, and I got 2 more years, and then I enter the 70 club. So that's the update on the changes in the last 9 years for me and the van and the different iterations we've gone through. I am still wanting to do more travel. I love to travel. Even if I have to do it myself, I'm fine with that. But like I said, I want to put safety things in place before I do that. I'm getting older now, and personal safety is a concern, especially with stop. I'm going to pause you for a minute. Kellogg's here. Okay, let's go back a little bit, because I lost a little bit of my footage here. Kellogg has left, and Mr. Quark goes overboard when Kellogg shows up. And I don't know how bad the video worked, but he just goes overboard. And right now, he's back. Whoops. I dropped the phone totally. Dropped it off my little thing. But he goes crazy when Kellogg comes by. But he's got a lot of friends out here that he's parked by, that we are parked by at this point. Holly, Chuck's dog, Jazzy, Donna's dog, Tippy, damn it, Janet's dog, a few other dogs right here close. Oh, Moo Moo, Aja's dog, and then of course Kellogg, which is Quark's favorite. And like I was saying when I thought the video was running, is that they have a love-hate relationship. They absolutely love each other. They play all the time. But if Kellogg gets a little close to me, then we act like we're going to tear each other apart. It doesn't happen, but it sounds bad. So anyway, he's just looking out the door, looking at everything going by. And so without further ado, I'm going to put in some clips that I made a couple days ago to show you all the upgrades to the vehicle and the changes that I've made. No, I haven't painted it. I've thought about it, but if I paint my van, nobody would know where I'm at. So we're going to keep it the same. I'm not going to paint it. I may wash and wax it this year sometime, but probably back when I get back to the property in the fall. Or, excuse me, in the spring. Sometime this summer. But for now, we're going to go to the clip that I made the other day. This is a much longer video than I normally do, because this is basically an anniversary birthday video. If you are in the Quartzsite area and you're going to be around that area about the 17th, 16th, 17th, 18th, whatever, somewhere in that area, and you want to hang out for a little bit, if you see me, come by and we can just chit chat and hang out and maybe have a cup of coffee or whatever. So anyway, thanks for being with us for these last 9 years of travel, and hopefully you come with us in the future as we hopefully go back to traveling. If not, I'll try to find some good content. So without further ado, let's load up that next video, the video clip for you. All right, we'll see you in a bit. Well, good morning today, travelers. Welcome to Traveling with the Graham Cracker. I am the Graham Cracker, and on my lap here is my little buddy right here, Mr. Quark. Say hi, Mr. Quark. Say hi, Mr. Quark. I'm trying to stay warm. We're out in the Arizona desert, and today's a cold day. And we're kind of in our van today, of course. You see, he's sitting here in the van. Haven't done a video in a couple weeks because I haven't had anything that I thought was film worthy to print. However, I was told by a good friend of mine that I need to film anyway. Whatever it is, you guys will decide whether it's film worthy or not. So I'm trying something new on the camera today. Number one, I'm not holding it. Hands free. I've got it sitting on my table. Number two, I'm trying a new filter where the background's black and white and the foreground is in color. I don't know, does that kind of freak you out? I don't know. It's kind of cool in my opinion. There's different filters that I can put on here, and I chose to use this one. I know the lighting is probably not the best because of the windows being open, but if I close the windows it's going to get really dark in here, and I don't want it to be dark at all. Today is December something. I think it's like the 10th or 11th, somewhere in there. Not even sure what day it is anymore. But I left the property around November 4th, I think, and came down here to Quartzsite, and I got here just in time to take care of my civil duties to vote, and I got that done. So I've been out here in Quartzsite since November 5th. In the last video I mentioned, or maybe I didn't mention, I'll have to go back and look, that I brought my trooper down here to get worked on at the mechanics, and right now it's still sitting at the mechanics, not worked on, and I'm still waiting for it to get done. I have given him a date that I need it by, so I've got a doctor's appointment in Phoenix, and I want to be able to use it to go to Phoenix. That's the situation with my car at this point. So what I've been doing in the meantime is working on the inside of the van and revamping things and customizing things, and I've shown you guys a few things that I've done in here. But I've been kind of remodeling it. Not really remodeling it, but upgrading for my needs a little bit. And I will show you that in just a minute. But I wanted to add, I wanted to build some new things in here, and I have a big old list over here on the whiteboard. And I wanted to build a new pantry, and I did. I wanted to move my shoes, as they were on the door over here on this side, passenger side, and they were on the main door, and when the door is open, the sun is just eating the shoes. So now the shoe rack is on the passenger door, and I don't open that, so they don't get the sun and they're not getting eaten up. You have to be real careful what you do out here, because the sun destroys fabrics and rubbers quickly. Like it was destroying my good shoes that were hanging on the door, destroying my jackets that were hanging on hooks by the door so I could grab the jacket quick and go out. So I have one jacket by the door, and it's faded due to the sun peeking inside the van. And you want the sun in, you just don't want it to fade all your stuff. So anyway, I put in a I moved the refrigerator, I moved the freezer, I put the refrigerator that I had in the van in the red barn at the property, and I bought a small refrigerator, little, I think a 2 or 3 cubic foot refrigerator, a dorm size fridge, and I was able to take the freezer that was in between the driver's seat and passenger seat and put that where the refrigerator was, and put the little one on top of it. So I built a cabinet and put the both of them in there, and they're basically built in so they can't come out when I'm driving. And there's air behind it, so they have air circulation. They run off electricity. So that worked out really well, and I put a wall between that refrigerator, freezer, and the bathroom, so that gives the bathroom an enclosure, so it's not just appliances. So when you're sitting up here in the front, and I'll show you that in a minute, it looks kind of finished. And then I wanted to put some rugs in here, and I found one at Costco, and I'll show. I'm gonna give you like a mini inside tour after I get done talking with it. And so I put the rug down because when it gets cold, the floor gets cold. And let's see, what else have I done? I bought an air fryer for the van to help with cooking like my steaks and my bacon, which I really like how it cooks. One thing I don't like is I must turn on my generator before I use it, because that's a 1500 watt appliance. And I'm afraid to use the inverter, that I might blow it, and so I use the generator instead. Now I have a 3000 watt inverter, and it should work really good, except I have a good friend that says I would be cautious because that's a Chinese made appliance. And you know, all of these things that we get, Renergy, different products that we use on our solar systems are all made in China. This one just has no name on it and was a whole lot cheaper than a name brand product, and it's just a cheaper thing. Just looked out the window and it looks like we may have a visitor that pulled up. No, somebody else. I thought it was somebody else. Anyway, so I'm cautious about using the air fryer on that inverter, so I just use the generator for it. And it only takes about 20 minutes to cook on it, but you're cooking twice a day. That's twice a day using gasoline to cook. So I'm thinking of changing my mind on the air fryer, maybe going to a lower wattage one. I found one that's 1,000 watts instead of 1,550 watts. I haven't found one under 1,000 watts yet. I found that I can get a George Foreman grill, and that's 700 watts. Now we're going down. That'll be fine to use. But the cooking time is about the same, about 6-7 minutes for a steak. But it's less messy than having that fry out all over the place. And they make one that is either flat, so I could cook bacon on it and do that and let it fry in the bacon grease and then raise it and drain it. That would be easy to do that. And then put it on a slope to do the steak, and then the steak would fry up real quick without having a mess all over the house and grease on the ceiling and all that. I want to eliminate the grease cooking in here because it's really messing up my van and it's just nasty. So I'm going to try to redo that. If you've been watching my video, you know that I purchased some more batteries for the van. I've got now 400 amp hours of battery storage, and I just this last week or two, purchased new solar panels, and I'm going to take you outside and I'm going to show you how I put those on. But I mounted them to the side of the van to collect as much sun as I can, because most of my sun is on the driver's side of the van during the day, and so it collects a lot of solar there. And I found panels that were not too big, and I was able to mount them over the glass on the driver's side. And I do miss the windows to be able to view out and look out, but I can look out the front window, or I can look out this window over here, that one back there, which is the wheelchair entry window, and then the dash window. Instead of putting the foil on the front, which the foil on the front will be there in the summer, I can use my curtains. I can use these and just close them, and then I have privacy without the foil. And then in the mornings, it'll warm up in here and keep the house warm, and I don't have to use a heater. So I also replaced my heater, and I bought a Flame King catalytic heater for in here, and it seems to work okay. I don't like how they start, because they do a poof when you do the flame, and it's kind of, it's scary to have that flame just go woof, real quick, and I'm learning how to turn it on without that, because you can't see if it's lit, and if you hit that piezo igniter one more time, it just makes a big poof, and you got to make sure it's way away from furniture and that sort of thing when it's starting to light. You can move it after, because all the heat from that heater goes up. It doesn't go out to the sides, it just goes up. So you don't want anything above it, you don't want anything out in front of it. So out on the sides is okay, but it heats pretty doggone good. So we've got now a total of 400 watts of solar on the roof and 350 watts of solar on the side of the van, which gives me the 750 watts of solar. I got 350 on the side. No, I have 450 on the side. That's right. I have 450 on the side. So we now have 850 watts of solar power going into this van, and which has been making my batteries fully charged real quick. Let's see where we're at. We're at 14.1 right now. We're full. And prior to putting on that 350 watts of power or 450 watts of power that I put on there, I was not getting full every day. Now I'm full, and it's like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've been full for a while. So that works really great. And then the batteries, the BMSs equalize and keeps the batteries working properly. So I do get a full charge every day now. And I don't know how much battery I would have on cloudy days. Haven't had that opportunity to test it out. But I do like that I don't have to turn my freezer off anymore. I can let it run, and I can have my food solidly frozen instead of it thawing and refreezing every other day. Because what I was doing is during the day from 10 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon running the freezer and then shutting it off so I would have enough power to get me through the night. Now I don't have to do that. My friend said now I don't have to worry about power, and I don't. So there's a couple more things I want to change in here, and that is a new fan motor for my Fantastic fan and a new recliner for the passenger side of the vehicle. And I've been looking diligently for a recliner, and I don't really like what I'm seeing out there. I'm looking at gaming chairs, which seem to look like they may work. The regular recliners are too big, and they're ugly. They're just ugly. And I really don't want anything that has that fake leather, because the sun will kill it. And most of the gaming chairs have the fake leather. Quark's nails will kill it. So I'm just looking around for different kinds of options for a different chair, but I want a recliner where the passenger seat goes, and I'll just mount it to the floor when I get it. But then once I get that, then I will replace curtains in here so that I have some better looking curtains, and the decor in here will upgrade and look a lot better. So a couple more things, and then it's just like facelifted, basically. I'm not moving furniture or anything like that. I really like how it looks right now. My kitchen is compartmentalized in its own little compartment now. It's fully walled in, and then my bathroom's walled in on one side, and then there's a curtain on the other, so it makes for a separation. And then my little fridge and freezer's walled in, but yet it still feels open in here, and there's plenty of room. So this video is getting long real quick. I'm trying to think of some things to video on and topics that I want to video on. There's a lot of things going on planet Earth, and things are going to be ramping up as far as, in the spiritual realm and in the physical realm here very, very soon. Christmas coming is one of those things, and I would like to do a video about what I think and about what's reality concerning that, and that might be coming like within the next week. That might be the next video I do. Not sure exactly yet, but back to van things. I'll probably cut that part out. And so one of the things I'm really working on and trying to accomplish is what I'm calling a 5-minute pack up and leave. I don't want to take half a day to pack my stuff to get out of here if I want to go somewhere, because that's why I don't go anywhere, because it's too much work for me physically to pack everything up on one day and then the next day drive out. So my van overnight is not prepared for use, it's prepared for driving out. And if I need to use anything, then I have to clean all that and take care of that for the next day, and it's just a pain in the neck. I'm getting to the point to where I want to get in the driver's seat, turn the key, go, and enjoy being able to go and not have to sit in one spot and not have to stay there because I don't want to move. I have my bicycle with me, and that's been working out really good. There is a part on the bike that broke to cause the electrical engine not to function, and I will be getting a replacement for that because my electrical components are on warranty still, and then I'll be back in business on my bike, and we'll do a complete video on my bicycle, and it's not sponsored. You know, I paid for it out of pocket, and it has nothing to do with the company that I bought the components from, but it has everything to do with the weight of the bike. It's super light. I know my Rad Mini was like 85 pounds. This one's 25 pounds. I don't know. I don't even know how heavy it is. It's easy to load and unload. It's easy to ride. I have to pedal it. There's no throttle. I could have ordered a throttle, but in the United Kingdom, where these parts came from, they don't allow their bicycles to have a throttle. So you have to pedal it, and it's a pedal assist. With a throttle, it turns into what they call a motorbike. And in America, we can have those, and we call them motorized bicycles. In the UK, they call them motorbikes, and so they're in a different classification. So without a throttle, it's throttle assist or pedal assist, and it'll go 20 some miles an hour, and which is super nice. And the battery lasts quite a long time too. So I really like my bike now that it's an e-bike. I liked it before it was an e-bike, but it was a lot of work for me to use. Now I can use it anytime I want, and we go a lot. Me and Quark go a lot on it. So that gives me a way to get out of the van and get out and go and do things, either dirt bike riding or out going to town or whatever I need, because I have transportation. I can carry a bunch of things on that bike. I've done bicycle tours all over the country, and I've learned how to haul things on my bicycle. I have panniers, and I have handlebar racks and bungees, and I can put things on the bicycle if I need to get things from the store and bring them home or whatever. And I've learned how to do that a long time ago. And Quark rides in a little pouch up here on my chest, so that he's quite close to me and I can reach him if I need to, and he's out of the way of the pedals, and he's not on the bike, he's on me. So if I fall, he falls, and we fall together. So, and that's a possibility because my balance doesn't work much. So anyway, I have the bike. I downsized to a smaller generator. So my generator is now not 100 pounds, but 40 pounds. So that loosens some weight up front. I have room up front to put gas cans so that I can fill that generator. And when I change out the air fryer, I'm not going to have to use the generator, but rarely. So I won't have to take. Right now I've got 10 gallons of gas on the front, and that's a lot of extra gas. I don't need to carry that anymore once I get a different appliance in here where I'm not using a generator to run it. On the back of the van, I have my, what do you call them? The little ramps to level out the van, and my shower setup, and the spare tire. That's it. And my chair. My chair hangs on the back of the van too. So that's it. And I cleaned out from underneath the bed and took out everything that's not essential. If I don't use it every time, or pretty much every time I'm out on the road in my van, it didn't come. Same in the drawers. I've just taken all the non-essentials out of the van. I have a place to put it now at my home base, and I used to carry it in my trailer that I called my garage. I've downsized my tools to where I have one tool, and I'll be making a video about that tool because that's a game changer too. So I've just been making things much more convenient to use in van life. More compact, more efficient, cheaper to use, less energy as far as my physical self goes, and less energy as far as power goes. I've been making this van as efficient as it possibly can, so you just jump in it and go. And I'm really liking that. I mean, just the littlest things that you have to do extra, Like when you're getting ready to go to put things away so they don't go flying around. My stuff, if you guys have seen in my van, is mounted to a pegboard. I don't have to move any of that. It stays there. I don't have to move the appliances that are on the counter. They stay there. I bought an electric hot water pot. It goes down on the floor. And let's see what else goes on the floor. Nothing. Everything else stays on the counter. It's got that teacher's putty on the bottom of it, so it's stuck there, or it's strapped down. It doesn't go anywhere. The fridge gets strapped in, so in case of a slam on the brakes, it is not going anywhere. The freezer is locked in so tight it doesn't even move. But I have freezer doors on them, kid-proof doors, and so they won't open when I'm driving. The cabinets all have a little latch that turns. They won't open when I'm driving. So everything is locked in place, and it's real quick to put. If I keep stuff put away, I can just close the latches, put the strap on the fridge, put my mirror in the drawer, and put my hot water kettle on the floor. That's all I have to do. Oh, one other thing. There's this deal over on my chair over here. It's a basket that I throw odds and ends in, and all I have to do is pick that whole basket up and put it in the passenger seat. No picking up little things and putting them away here and there. It's all in containers. I use baskets a lot in here. I use baskets in my refrigerator. I use baskets in the freezer. I use baskets in just about everything, so I don't have to move things to find things. Pull a basket out, there's my stuff. Put the basket back. Drawers, I use a lot of drawers. Y'all know I like drawers because with the drawers you put things in the drawers and you open them, get the stuff. You don't have to move a box, open it, search through it, put the box back, get a different box. I don't like using boxes that are stacked on top of each other. Drawers is my preferred method. So I have as many drawers in here as I can. Some are plastic and some are wooden. And because I'm not a good cabinet maker, that's why I bought the kitchen area that I bought. It was already built. I didn't want to have to rebuild something that's already built. Buy the product, put it in the van. It fits, it's beautiful, it works good, and we're done with it. So with that, I'm going to give you a little quick look around in here and show you what I've done and show you where I'm at as we're heading on to about 25 minutes, and I don't want to get too long in the video. So I'm going to turn this around, and I don't know what will happen with this color scheme. I probably won't be able to keep it. It'll probably change back to normal. So let's see what I can do here. Let's see what I can do. Let's give you a little view from where I sit. There's my kitchen, and right there is where I added the wall behind the driver's seat. Right there is the new air fryer, which is a pretty good size one. And all that stuff that I have on the pegboard there stays on the pegboard. It doesn't move. The only thing that I moved is this pot right there. Everything else stays there except for my coffee cup, because that's there just getting water in it. But over here on the seat is the baskets I was talking to you about. The basket there on the seat just gets moved, picked up, moves over here to the passenger seat, and that's a done deal. Let me go down here and show you this heater. This is the heater that I purchased. I'll show you the front of the heater, how it has this catalytic. It's a flameless heater, and those are very interesting to light. It's supposed to have a greenie here. I put in a plastic tube and taped it on here because this stays cool. This is just to give it the correct angle to be able to give it the correct angle to shoot out in the room like it should. So that's my new heater. And I keep it covered because these get dusty and then they don't work right. And then that goes over to my propane that's behind my seat. And that's a dual propane. One part goes to the stove and one part goes to the heater. And right now, currently, my stove is on the fritz, so I have to buy a new one and replace it. So that's the heater. The rugs, not my best choice of rug, but this is a one from Costco that you can throw in the washing machine and dry it. It doesn't have that rubber backing stuff. It has a non-stick backing to it, but it's not like that rubbery stuff. And that's great for keeping my feet warm. Right now, this is my outside rug. It was super windy last night. I didn't want it to blow away. So when I go into travel mode, I just bring it in and set it right there. We're done. So I don't have to change that out. I'm going to stand up here and I'm going to probably be moving the camera a bit. Give me a minute. Show you what else I built in here. I built my little lagoon table. I'm going to zoom back out here. Let me see if I can zoom back out. Little lagoon table so I can have it on my lap. It's a little angled wrong because I can't get this tight enough to keep it from wobbling, but it works. It's not level when it does that, but when you put it like this, it is level. When you go like this, it's not. It's going downhill, so I have to be careful with that because this pipe should be back further. A lot of people have put these in a plastic pipe. I have nowhere to hook it, so I hooked this one onto the floor directly, just bolted it in, and it works quite well. It turns, and it works the way it should work, pretty much. So this is the wall. Not really a wall, but it's a wall. New toilet, I've already shown you guys that. This is the other wall. That's the freezer down there. Refrigerator up top. They hold quite a bit of food. Baby locks. They're very easy to open. Just pop it and they're open and nothing falls out. But that holds quite a bit of food. That's a big freezer. I do have ice in here, and down below is for my meat storage for Quark and myself. And as you can see, I use baskets. You just pull a basket out. That's hamburger meat. There's a basket behind it with turkey. This is a basket with my meat in it. The rest of the freezer's basically whatever fits. So it works pretty good. And then the pantry, I got rid of the plastic one and I built this one in. This one's a little stiff. Let me try to open it. It's a little tight. But there's your pantry. And now it's all wood. It's very solid. It works pretty good. It's hard to get in and out because it's very tightly made. Push that back in with my kneecap. It does work. I wanted to show you guys this stuff. This is packing that came with my solar panels. This stuff is amazing for insulating your windows in the van. I use it. Let me unplug this. I use it up here in the ceiling for the fantastic fan. Keeps the air from coming in and the light. You just push it up in there, it stays. I use them for the windows. I have some right there in the kitchen. Right here there's some on that window. That's all insulation and it keeps it completely warm. You can see the back of the solar panel through the glass. This is slidden down on this particular window. Let me pour this in here. This is the hot water pot, which I very much like. I don't have to use a stove And the stove right now is here, this little stove, but it's not working. It's flaming up around it, so I have to take that out and buy a new replacement in there. I like having the stove gone. This is too big, too much power, 1,000 watts, 1,550 watts for this. Let's see, what else did I do in here? When I drive, I have to put this away because it will fall off those hooks, and it has to be put away or it'll break. I just strap this with a ratchet strap across there, and then that's all I have to do to the fridge. This stays on the counter. It just sits on one of those rubber plates right there, and it doesn't fall off. It usually doesn't have water in it. And that stays on the counter. There's straps here to keep it from falling off. And the other strap is here that goes around, and they latch together, and it keeps it from falling off. It's screwed into this wall. So that's about all I have to put away in here. And that little heater just sits on the floor. That's the heater down there. Doesn't take up much room. Hey, Mr. Quark, what you doing? What you doing? What? Shh. I did not say bark. I did not. Get off my table. Get off. Now sit. And quiet. Thank you. Thank you. You can say hello without barking. Can you do that? Can you do that? I hope so, because I don't need the bark. It's too loud. Okay? Can you sit on your chair? My chair? You're stealing. Off. Get off my table. Thank you. You cannot sit there. All right, let's go out and show them the solar panels. Can we show them the solar panels? Are you ready to go outside and look? All right, come on, let's go. Okay, we're going to take you outside. It is windy. I'll show you some things outside. It's cold today. It's cold today. Come on, Quark. I'll walk you around here. This is the smaller generator that I was telling you about. It's only 40 pounds. This is the bike, about 25 pounds here. It's all locked on. It's got its own bike rack. When I change out that air fryer, I'm not going to need 10 gallons of gas to run it. The water I take is shower water, but I have panniers and things so I can use it on the bike. Quark, come on. And it's attached to the hood of my car to drive down the road. I do need to move it. It's blocking a headlight, so I'll be moving the bicycle that way so it doesn't block this headlight. Right now, I don't have any headlights, so I can't drive at night, but I will need to move this because that makes it illegal because I can't see. Come on, Quark, come on. But here's what I did to the side of the van. This is 450 watts of solar power, and we're standing in the sun here. Let me see if I can turn around and give you a better look. See? No, that's even worse, I think. That's kind of worse. Anyway, I've made these locks on there. I've made the locks so they lock down. Oh no, you can't see anything. But they lock down. They're bolted up top. But each one of these panels is 150 watts. And that gives me the 450 on here. Yeah. And then I've got, what, 14.3 right now. I'm shading it. Should make it really hard to see. It's really hard to see right at the moment. Apologize to that. Boom. Yeah, we're at 14.4. So it's almost full. It'll flash full when it is full. but it's really close to being full. But I don't know. I don't think that looks too bad. I know the wire on the outside. People go, well, you should put that thing, the charge controller inside. That is a waterproof charge controller. And I bought that on purpose for rain and that sort of thing. It's waterproof. I didn't want to drill any holes in the van. Didn't want to drill any. And I'm plugged into my batteries down here. This plug goes directly to the batteries and comes out underneath, and then the charge controller. And let me show you how this all looks. I got the sun right in the way. Come on. This is gonna be a long video today, guys. I'll try to edit it down, make it where it's not crazy. Quark. It's hard to do one-handed. I'll probably replace this carabiner with one that's not so weird. But this is what's going on under here. This is how we've mounted them. This is a 50 amp charger, and it can't handle the amount of power I got coming through here, so I had to do them in parallel. Normally I would do them in series. Anyway, thanks for coming along with me and Quark today. Quark, are you down here still? Come here. Come here. Come here. Are you down here? Say, yes I am. I'm down here. I'm down here. Mr. Quark is feeling good. He wasn't feeling good a couple weeks ago. He had a blocked gland, anal gland, and it unblocked. It's quite painful for him. They usually bust open and bleed a lot, and they have to have antibiotics and kept clean so that they don't get sick, and he didn't. He did well with it. Of course, we asked God to help him because he couldn't pass his poo while he had that going on, so we had to change his diet and give him bone broth and stuff like that to help him go to the bathroom. And so he's back to his normal self. Are you back to your normal self? You are. Oh, here comes that tongue. Don't you dare. Thank you. Okay. You can have my nose. That's it. Not the mouth. Not ever the mouth, because I know where your tongue goes. Yes, I do. You have a busy tongue. But, yeah. He's doing good. I'm doing good. I'm parked with a good friend here today, and I don't know what we're doing because I think she's off taking a nap. But thanks for coming along. Follow your heart, embrace your dreams, and cherish your life. And get out there and live and enjoy yourself while you still can. You know, things are changing. And I know a lot of you feel that. I know a lot of you know that. They're changing. And I'll be getting into that subject on a later video. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.